everyone, it's Mrs. Kendall. Welcome to Unit 10, and starting this week, we're going to do things a little bit differently. Every Monday or Tuesday, you should hear or watch this recording. You should see it appear, and this is to go over the assignment. And then on Tuesdays in class, we're actually going to have a lesson where we talk about something related to the week. We'll do some sort of activity. It'll be a lot of fun. I hope you join us. On Thursdays in live lesson, we'll continue to do homework help, where we work on part of the assignment for the week. And then on Fridays, this is new, every Friday we're going to start playing review games in the live lesson for that week's unit quiz. So if you have not been coming to live lessons, I strongly encourage you to do so, because those live lessons are now going to have a lot more for you. They're going to be very beneficial, and they should be a lot of fun. So starting this week, there will also now be a recording for every assignment that everybody needs to watch. As was the case before, there will be a password at the end of this recording that you need to submit with your assignment in order to have your assignment accepted and graded. Okay, so going ahead, part 2, focus clustering. On this one, you're going to take one of the 5 areas that was on the concept map that you perhaps have more interest in. You're going to do some additional research. You're going to decide on and pick 4 subtopics. So how can you break that topic down? And then for the subtopics, you're going to write those in the 4 main bubbles, and you'll see this when we get there. And then you're going to write 2 facts per subtopic in the other bubbles. So I'm going to briefly show you my sample here, but if you want to look at it in more detail, it is already under doc sharing for you. So you can go under doc sharing, which is up by your grade book in your Dropbox, click on it, and you can see the sample for Unit 10. Cities, immigration, city life, what was it like to live in the cities, race relations, and culture. So you should be able to go through the unit and the reading, which was pages 1 through, I believe, like 23 or 24, and fill in each of these with 3 to 5 facts per. Okay? Okay, so in the cluster diagram, you're going to take one of those main ideas. So let's say you took immigration, and you're going to find 4 main ideas related to immigration. So for example, 1, and I'm trying not to give too much away, immigrants came from Eastern Europe. And then you would write 2 facts about that immigration from Europe. You would take another subtopic, like maybe something about what immigrants did in their communities, and you would write 2 more ideas about that. So you're going to take that main idea, and then you're going to provide me with additional information. So what does this look like? So I took an issue or a topic that wasn't on your list, and I took reformers. Things were bad after or during the Industrial Revolution, and people worked for change. Okay, well, one area that they work for change is politicians. Okay, politicians, despite being corrupt, still help people. There were political machines, political organizations that were corrupt, but they did build playgrounds, parks, and schools. Another area that reformers touched was immigrants. Many immigrants were poor, lived in bad conditions in tenements, and immigrants thanked politicians with votes. So the politicians would come along and do something to help the immigrants, and the immigrants would thank them by voting for them. Okay, so another area where reformers were focused was cities. Factory workers and immigrants lived in slums, basically inner city slums. It was really unsanitary. There was no plumbing, so no running water, no flushing toilets, nothing like that. And they had no garbage service. So literally, people just threw garbage out in the streets. And the cities were overcrowded and dirty. So this was an area that reformers worked on. And then I wanted an example of a reformer, and a really good one was Jane Addams. She founded the Hull House in Chicago. It was a welfare agency that helped the immigrants and the poor. And others like her wanted to help the poor and immigrants in the slums. So you can see how I've taken this main idea, reformers, I split it into 4 subtopics, and then I provided facts for those subtopics. Now, if you notice, I've actually added circles. I added this one, and I added one over here on cities, and I added one over here on Jane Addams. You can add as many circles as you would like. Okay, I found that it was necessary. Okay, so on part 1, it is worth 15 points. And here's how it will be graded. You will be graded on your information, on how accurate and relevant your information is, and your conventions, your spelling, grammar, punctuation. Okay, this is where last time on the cluster diagram people lost a lot of points. I'm telling you that you have to have 15 total facts in at least 5 areas. So if you're doing the math, there are 5 areas. You have to have 15 total facts, so that means you have to have 3 facts per area. Okay, if you don't, if you only have 9 to 14 facts in 4 areas, then you would only score a 3. If you have 8 or less facts, or you have facts in less than 3 areas, you would only get 1 point. Okay, your facts are 80% historically accurate. Your facts are 50% accurate. Or your facts are less than 50% accurate. And then spelling, punctuation, grammar, there aren't many errors. There are some minor errors, but it doesn't affect my ability to read it. And then there are major errors in spelling, grammar, punctuation. There are so many errors, it distracts me from reading, it distracts me from your ideas. So this is 15 points. This is how the cluster diagram will be graded. And then you've got part 2, which is the clustering of the ideas. So again, information, you have to have so many facts in so many areas. Historical accuracy, exactly the same, 80%, at least 50%, less than 50%. The conventions, exact same thing. Very few, hardly any, not any at all. Errors in spelling, grammar, punctuation. Minor, but it doesn't distract me, as a 3. And then major, and it does distract me from your ideas, is a 1. And then what I added to this one, because for the clustering diagram, you'll be expected, I'm sorry, not the clustering, but the, yeah, it is a cluster. So for the second one, you'll be expected to do outside research. For the first part, everything will be in your class. But for this one, you may have to do some outside research. So I do need works cited. I'm not asking you to do in-text citations because it's not paragraph format, but I am asking you to list in MLA format your works cited. So if you do your works cited, that's here. If you do your works cited, but let's say I can't tell what facts came from what sources, then that would fall here. If it's really incomplete, if it's really incomplete, it's going to be here. If you don't do it at all, it says a score of 0 will be given. So this is the assignment for Unit 10. Everything is already loaded in the classroom. You will find this in Word format so that you can actually type on it, or if you would like to, you can print it out, write on them, scan them back in, and send them that way. Just please make sure that you're either using Word or OpenOffice, or you're scanning them in as pictures if you've written on them instead of typing on them. And if you have any questions at all, please get in touch with me. I know that this is a different way of doing this. But please get in touch with me. Send me a K-mail, call me, send me an instant message, or even set up a one-on-one. I do want to note that all teachers will be out on Friday. We have professional development training down in Phoenix. So none of your teachers will be available to you on Friday. So I do want you to be aware of that. And hang in there, guys. We've only got one more week until you've got a couple days off. We've got this week, and then next week you have a short week. So last but not least, here's your password. It is a tenement. And you will know what a tenement is by the end of this chapter, or this unit. So don't forget to send that password when you submit this assignment. And again, I remind you, I am here if you need any help at all. Please let me know. Thank you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you in class this week.